My name is Rich Wildman. I'm an agronomist, one of the founders of Agronetics. What the Falcon does is provide consistency, it provides speed, and it provides a level of quality that I really know of no other way to accomplish that. One of the challenges for the soil sampler is how can you get the volume of samples done in a timely manner that need to be done to turn the data around in time for that farm to use it to make corrective treatments on their fields. The net result in the Falcon is you can move in, you can sample lots of acres in a day and turn that data around very quickly, and it makes it very practical to use that soil test data to put together prescriptions to really fine-tune the fields. So one of the questions that people ask me sometimes is, what is the payback in terms of using a Falcon compared to other methods? And I think as you try to tackle that question, one needs to think about the labor efficiency. Basically, how many samples a day could you take with whatever means you've been using versus how many samples a day you could take with a Falcon. Our history is that we run an agronomic services business, have done so for over 30 years. Have employed lots of people taking soil samples, have purchased essentially every kind of known technology out there over those 30 years to take samples better and more efficiently for our clients. And the tried and true method that we've used over the years has been ATVs with manual soil probes. We've used them because they're accessible, they're scalable. We can buy lots of $35 soil probes, and we can get a small army of ATVs, and we can go out and do lots of sampling. The challenge with that is it's actually a relatively expensive process and a really difficult one to control the quality and consistency of that process. The net result in a Falcon, instead of maybe 50 samples a day that we might take out of various management zones with ATVs, we might take upwards of 100 with the Falcon, or if we're taking 2.5 acre grids, we might have taken 80 or 90 with ATVs, and that's working to get lots of probings in each subsample, and still not getting quite the number of probings in a subsample that we'd like. With the Falcon, our staff consistently sees 150 samples a day. On a good day, they go over 200 samples a day with the Falcon on 2.5 acre grids. Every one of those samples has literally dozens of probings, and every one of those samples are geo-referenced, they're time date stamped. The net result is we can put an employee out there with a Falcon, and we can trust the fact that they will be working consistently all day because they're comfortable, they're inside a truck cab. The machine is working the same at 7 in the morning as it is at 7 at night. And on top of that, all those samples are geo-referenced. They're all time date stamped. We have a barcode system on our Falcon. That barcode system allows us to accurately, consistently identify every sample and not rely on human error of using a magic marker. It's a really good process. When we go out into very hard, dry soils, let's say a clay soil in July, what we find with the Falcon is that it's really impressive. That's a very heavy drum on that Falcon, and it's really impressive how it will penetrate soils that would be, if you went out there with a soil probe, you could jump on it and it would barely go in the ground. And if you were taking soil samples all day manually on that kind of soil with an ATV and a manual soil probe, I don't care how conscientious you are as a technician, it would be impractical to think that you could take quality samples all day. When we go out with a Falcon in those conditions, it works. When I purchased our first Falcon, and that was about 4 years ago, I need to be honest that I was concerned. I was concerned about making a capital investment in a technology that seemed relatively new to me. And what if the technology worked fine, but what if I couldn't capture the extra value of it? Or what if the technology worked fine, the quality of the samples were great, but the but the farmer didn't accept the idea as being better. I went through all those processes when we bought our first Falcon. I leased it, and what that did for me is to make the cash flow of the investment really affordable. And the bottom line is the Falcon created a positive cash flow in the business from day one. And what we found is that we were able to go out and demonstrate it on some farms, and it caught fire. And it really did a couple things for us in our business. One, it picked up our productivity, but I think the most important thing it did was it really increased the pride of our workmanship, of our technicians going out in the field. They feel good about the result that comes out with that Falcon. So at the end of the day, that investment gives us better labor efficiency. It gives our farms a much better sample result. But again, the best thing in my mind is the pride I see in our people using that Falcon.